Here's the truth. Old, traditional, high pressure, pushy sales tactics are dead. They're extinct. They simply don't work with today's consumer. And so I wanted to walk you guys through the difference between old, traditional prospecting tactics and strategies versus what I call reverse selling. This is something that I teach all of my students, all of my one-on-one coaching clients. And if anything in today's video makes any sense to you at all, and you want to jump on a coaching call with me, I put a link beneath this video in the description. Feel free to schedule a call. We'll talk about exactly what it is that I teach. I'll walk you through a blueprint that will have you listing one house every single week, and we could talk about whether or not it makes sense to work together. So with traditional selling, okay, this is all the stuff that you and I have been taught in real estate sales for years and years and years. It's still being taught today, okay? Traditional selling teaches us pushy. What I wrote down was pushy, pressure, and this process of almost like we're trying to convince people to do something against their own will, creating this almost like this conflict or this friction between salespeople, real estate agents, you, and the prospect, okay? Making it more difficult to try and effectively prospect to set appointments. So here's what I wrote. Traditional prospecting really breaks down to three parts, and then I'm going to break down reverse selling for you in just a second. What traditional sales training has taught us was to, number one, present our features and our benefits immediately to the prospect. Now, we don't know their motivation. We don't know if what we do is a good fit or not. We need to just present all the features, all the benefits, why the person should meet with us, why the person should list their house with us. We should just present. Next, we need to then close. You've heard it time and time again. Always be closing. Close. Apply pressure, okay? Push them to meet with you. Push them to sign the contract or list the property. And then thirdly is to overcome their objection. So let me give you an example of what this might sound like if you're calling a for sale by owner, which is something that I teach all of my students to do in a high level. This is an example of old traditional selling of what not to do. It might sound something like this. Mr. For sale by owner, listing with a real estate agent will net you so much more money than you could ever get on your own. And the fact is, Mr. For sale by owner, 88% of all for sale by owners are going to fail. So let's get together so we can talk about getting your property listed immediately. Should we meet today at 4 or tomorrow at 5? Okay, that's a traditional selling sales script that you and I have been taught for years. Now, if you've been prospecting or following anything that I teach, you know that that's very difficult to have a consumer say, yeah, absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. I'm selling for sale by owner. Your little magical script is so compelling that now all of a sudden I want to list my house with you. You know, if you've been calling for sale by owners, that script simply no longer works. So what we have to do, and what I teach all of our students to do, is something called reverse selling. So I'm going to give you kind of three parts. Number one is discovery. Okay, this is where we're going to uncover the prospect's motivation. Okay, number two is what we call self-identify. Okay, this is where we're going to have the prospect sell us on possibly getting together, sell us on possibly working together. And then part three is setting our intentions with the prospect, with the seller, where we remove any and all risk or threat or resistance from the prospect wanting to meet with us, okay? So this might sound like this. This is a simple reverse selling for sale by owner script that you should all master. You can pause this video, rewind it, listen to it 1,000 times, okay? Mr. For sale by owner, I absolutely love your neighborhood and everything that I'm seeing online with the photos that you put out there. Your home looks incredible. What has you thinking about moving? I got it. And with the market being so great, I'm sure you'll have no problems selling the property on your own. However, if 30 days goes by and for some off chance you're unsuccessful selling the property, would you consider looking at some other options and potentially meeting with me to review a plan that will help you get the property sold and net you the money that you need in your pocket. Okay, got it. That makes a lot of sense. Now listen, I'm previewing properties tomorrow in your neighborhood that just hit the market that are just like yours, and I was hoping to see yours as well. I'm gonna be in the area around 4 p.m. Will you be home to show me the property? Now, when we look at that strategy, let's break that down. There was 3 parts to it. Part 1 is I told the for sale by owner to I affirmed their property. I'm justifying that the property's in a great neighborhood, that the property looks great. This is our part of discovery. I want to uncover the motivation. So all that I ask him is I edify his current property. That's what every seller wants you to do. You edify the property and you ask him, what has you thinking about moving? Not why. Why is accusatory, and so you put the person on the defensive. So we want to replace why with what. So what has you thinking about moving? We're uncovering motivation. The second thing we did, I said, got it. Well, with the market being so great right now, you'll have no problem selling it on your own. This is called a pattern interrupt. Every single agent out there is trying to convince, right? They're pushing. They're trying to convince the for sale by owner that what they are doing is wrong and that listing with an agent is right. We reverse that. We tell them that what they're doing is right, okay? This is called a pattern interrupt with neurolinguistics, some of the things that we train our agents on, and we tell them what they're doing makes sense, okay? And that they should try to do this, and only if they can't sell their house on their own, we call that speaking in hypotheticals. If 30 days goes by, Mr. Seller, and you're unsuccessful selling your home, would you consider, using non-threatening language, looking at some other options, removing the threat? Now, what you're gonna find is when you use a pattern interrupt along with speaking in hypotheticals, the for sale by owner is more likely to tell you the truth. Yeah, Brandon, listen, if we can't get this thing sold in the next couple of weeks on our own, sure, we'd be open to looking at some other options. Okay, ding, 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 ding. Now we have a lead. Now we have an opportunity. Now we know which lead that we should put into our follow-up system or not. Makes sense? Hopefully that makes sense, okay? And then part 3 is we set the appointment, we set our intentions with the for sale by owner. In that example I just gave you, obviously we're talking about setting up a face-to-face preview appointment. We teach our agents how to set listing appointments from that script as well. That was just an example where it's easy for the seller to agree to our meeting because we've removed the threat. So if you're watching this and you really, really want to learn how to effectively prospect, which is something that I absolutely believe in, then click the link. There's a link beneath this video in the description. We can talk about a blueprint, a strategy, and how our lifetime training program works so that we can start to teach you how to set appointments, what to do on the appointments, how to follow up with listing leads so that you start getting one listing every single week. You become a top listing agent in your marketplace over the next 6 to 12 months. I'll look forward to talking with you. Click the link beneath this video, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch today's video. We'll see you in another one very, very soon.